don't need shit. Motherfuckers. Guess what? I nailed it. First in NATO. First on planet Earth, in fact. I'm number one. I am the supreme fucking source of knowledge of all things war. But nobody listens to Lou Hammer, the god of war, because you're bitches and Nazis. Anyways, an hour or two ago, Russia just vaporized the entire EU's winter gas supplies, like all of their reserves. Gone. Gone. Germany, France, Romania, Poland, Estonia, all them bitches. Russia just vaporized all their winter heating fuel, man, with a Reshnik. Yo, super. Russia just hit Lviv, the gas storage facility for all of Europe, with an Oreshnik plasma missile. We're going to get into that. Ukraine is currently still under massive missile strikes. 2 thermal power plants in Kyiv have been obliterated tonight, on top of Europe's entire gas storage facilities. And Ukraine's. There's no heating in Ukraine no more this winter, guys. None. You know, it's like Trump wants to declare World War III, hijacking fucking Russia's civilian cargo ships on the high seas, which is piracy, by the way. Trump robs, hijacks Russia's ships, and then goes on camera and says, fuck the UN. And in case you civilians don't understand what Trump and Rubio did by telling the UN, telling everybody that the UN don't matter and the international law don't matter, that's a declaration of World War III. Trump and Rubio just declared World War III. The international law is toast. We're in a state of World War III. Russia's dropping plasma missiles on NATO gas storage facilities, wrecking shit. But okay, so I'll get you serious here for a second or two. I can't be serious too long, man. Anyways, so in 2024, Russia used a Oreshnik Hazelnut fucking intermediate range ballistic missile with multiple reentry vehicle warheads. And all of NATO, all of the war analysts and the weapons experts for the past 2 years has been claiming that Russia's Oreshnik is just a unarmed nuclear missile. And they're wrong. Oreshnik is not a nuclear weapon. It's not that Russia's not shooting blanks into Ukraine and vaporizing the shit out of everything with blank weapons. No, that's not what it is. It's a plasma missile. And in 2024, when everybody in the world was saying Oreshnik was just a ballistic nuclear missile, I called it. I watched the video. I saw the data, and I said, that's a plasma missile. That was 2 years ago. And today, on the second use of the Oreshnik, Russia finally came out and spilled the beans. So I'm going to read this directly for you. This is a quote from a Telegram channel called Russian Engineer. This is a Russian engineer. All right. So, an actual real scientist quoted, "The flash, like a lightning bolt, is a plasma cocoon that forms around the hypersonic warhead of the Oreshnik missile. It's actually nomenclature R-26, which we've come to call Oreshnik. As for why it doesn't use explosives, some people are worried about that. Let me explain. At speeds above 5 to 6 Mach, the energy reserve, hey, Macho Man. Yeah, right about that, Macho Man. Real professionals are fucking rare around here. It's a good thing you guys know me, though. I got your back, dudes. At speeds above 5 to 6 Mach, the energy reserve in the warhead is greater than the energy reserve in the explosives that could be stuffed into the warhead. What that means is the kinetic energy from the plasma slug is greater than the energy from actual explosives. All right, in layman's terms. All right, they can be stuffed into this warhead. In parentheses, for such speeds, it's no more than 25 to 30% of the total mass to withstand the overloads. What that means is the warhead, it gets so hot in reentry that only 25 to 35 to 30% of the mass could be filled with explosives. Otherwise, it would blow up before it reached the target. The explosives would detonate because the warhead gets so hot. Well, if you don't understand what I'm saying, what this Oreshnik missile does is it goes into low Earth orbit and then it releases the re-entry warheads. It's like one big thing. It opens up and 6 little warheads come out of it. And those come down into the atmosphere. And technically speaking, it's decelerating because it's hitting our atmosphere and the air slows it down. And that superheats the metal of the warhead from a solid all the way up to a supercritical fluid. Now, if you haven't studied chemistry or physics, let me explain how this is. You know how you have water, and like if you put it in the freezer, it turns to ice, a solid. And if it's out of your tap, it's a liquid. And if you put it in a pot and you put it on your stove and you turn the heat on, it boils and steam and turns to gas. Well, if you heated up that water even more than a stovetop, it would become what we call a supercritical fluid in the science community and what civilians commonly refer to as plasma. Okay, now think about a solid chunk of metal being heated up so much that it goes from solid to plasma. That's the energy that this science dude is talking about. Therefore, back to the quote, there's no point in using explosives, and it simplifies the creation of the warhead because you're really just shooting a big chunk of metal at this point. All right. If you read Robert Heinlein, you would totally understand the concept of plasma weapons and like launching chunks of solid things from like the moon towards Earth, which is, you know, basically what they're doing here. But now it's real life instead of science fiction. Anyways, the warhead material heats up so much during sudden deceleration. That's because it's going from outer space into our atmosphere and hitting the oxygen and the ozone and the carbon and all that gassy stuff that's in our atmosphere. And it slows it down and superheats it. That it partially turns into plasma from this stored energy. And accordingly, without any explosives, an explosion effect is achieved. A fragmentation field of very high-speed material droplets which act as microcumulative jets directed towards the flight direction. And in this case, the flight direction was Ukraine's gas storage facility. And this gives it enormous penetrating power. Russian engineer. Okay, the plasma missile penetrates deeper into the ground than conventional bombs and missiles because it's plasma coming from outer space and it wrecks the shit out of everything it touches. Okay? That's what the Oreshnik missile is. And I called that 2 years ago. And to this very day, even tonight, Greg Terry, club fisted Greg Terry, Napo Nazi puke fucker, is still claiming that Oreshnik is an unloaded nuclear weapon. Why? Because if you're a Nazi American, you're a fucking moron. Yeah, Heinlein's the fucking best, man. He's the best science fiction dude. He actually, if you don't know this, Robert Heinlein was a science fiction writer, but before that, he was a U.S. Navy officer during the Cold War and World War II, I believe. And his science fiction writings are more like political science classes dressed up as science fiction. And I don't know about Maduro. Maduro Venezuela thing, I'm not going to mess with that tonight. It's a clusterfuck. We don't even know what's going on there. Plus, Iran and shit is going down. And I know some things that the general population don't know about all that, but it's still a pretty murky situation. It's World War III, is what it is. Anyways, now I got another post to read you. And this is about the gas storage facility that Russia just fucking vaporized with their science fiction plasma missile. Quoting, the gas storage facility, presumably hit in the Lviv region, was actively used by foreign companies. And the Bilch Volitsky UGS, that's gas, unified gas storage, whatever, is a place where gas is stored by more than 200 foreign companies. The fact is that after the cessation of Russian gas transit in 2025, the role of Ukrainian gas storages has increased exponentially. Simply put, this is a service for foreign companies. Ukrainian officials already stated in 2024 that it is necessary to increase the volumes of foreign gas to improve the economy. Right. Stranger in a Strange Land. I really liked the Moon stories that he wrote. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress and things like that. And all of the Lazarus Long stuff was pretty cool too. And Starship Troopers. Because, like, okay, I'll tell you all a secret. Starship Troopers, the book, not the movie. The movie was good fucking brain candy, but it was nothing about what the book was. But Starship Troopers, the book, was a blueprint on how to properly structure a government to be a super strong government that's like impervious to modern fuckery and propaganda and shit like that. Yeah, Philip K. Dick. The classics, yo. But yeah, my preferred government is the military meritocracy as described by Robert Heinlein in Starship Troopers. That's the nation I want to live in, a military meritocracy. Katie in here. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. But yeah, Heinlein was friends with a lot of the other science fiction writers of the time. They were a group. They all worked for the Pentagon, like making secret military weapons and shit back in the day. They wrote science fiction and then they built the science fiction weapons for the future. That's what they did. But yeah, Jim Bay or whatever. I'm not sure if Asimov was in that group, but yeah, a lot of the old fashioned science fiction writers were actually officers in the military and scientists and engineers that worked for the Pentagon. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. But anyways, yeah. So what the point being is that gas storage facility, just as I just quoted you from reliable news sources, is that, yeah, his early 20s. Yeah, we're on the same page there, Macho Man. But Europe has been storing their heating fuel supplies in Ukraine's gas storage facility, the Lviv gas storage facility. It's on the border of Poland, and um, everybody stored it there, and the pipes connect to all of Europe and shit. And all the European gas companies paid money to Ukraine and rented storage space for their gas. So not only did Russia blow up half of Ukraine's gas reserves, they also blew up all of Europe's gas reserves too. Yep, all gone. Europe is going to be without heating this winter, or they're going to be paying a shit ton of extra money because they just got all their shit blown up, right? And so I'm just going to say it's not a coincidence that Russia blew up Europe's gas reserves like 2 days after Trump went and hijacked Russia's cargo ships on the high seas, committing acts of piracy and making declarations of war about the UN and shit like that. Yeah. I mean, guys, I called it 2 years before. The whole NATO world was saying, oh, that's a Reshnik is a nuclear missile and Russia's just not putting nukes on it. And from day one, when it was first used, I was like, that's a plasma missile, man. Plasma. And I was right. And now Russian engineers, scientists have confirmed what I said 2 years ago. You know? Yeah, we do need to get rid of NATO. I mean, the US needs to wash its hands of the corrupt Zionist, Nazi, fucking blackmail, Jew cucked, nigger ass fucking Congress and senators and judges. And we need a revolution. To be honest, guys, nothing in America is going to get better until we have a revolution and we reform America as a military meritocracy. And I will be the high commander, because it's all corrupt. The Jews are blackmailing Trump, like, and everybody in Congress, everybody in the Senate, like Elon Musk, all of our billionaires and BlackRock and the Sorosites and everybody with money or a position of power is being blackmailed by the Jews, the Epstein blackmail. Thank you. I appreciate that. And, you know, so yeah, until you deal with the blackmailed government, it doesn't matter what kind of a government. We could have a 3-ring circus, a democracy, a dictatorship. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to. It doesn't matter what you call it because it's all controlled by the Jews. You know, I mean, you saw Elon Musk kissing the Jew wall. You saw Trump kiss the Jew wall. You see all the Democrats kissing the Jew wall. There's no 2 parties in America. There's one party, the Jew party. Anyways, that's what I got. Trump is about ready to invade Iran. So that's going on. Yep. Yeah, Bibi is. Oh, I have to hit a button for that now? That's weird. Oh my God. They've added a lot of new features. You know? Yeah. Oh my God, that's so weird. I'm not used to the new Telegram layout. They've really got a new features and changed everything on here. It's why I use the phone. The new StreamYard platform doesn't work on my old ass Hewlett Packard Windows 10 computer. So I'm using the phone now till I get a new computer. Now I have to. Oh, okay. There we go. But yeah, Trump's staging forces in Europe and the Middle East, preparing to invade Iran, like literally invade Iran. Like there's more troop buildup now than for the Iraqi invasion. So he's literally, they're using, Mossad is doing all this riots and color revolution bullshit in Iran, and Trump is going to use the that chaos as a justification for invading Iran. That's basically what he's doing there. I'm not sure what's going on in Venezuela. It looks like they rolled over and they're going to be little bitches, but I'm not sure about that yet. we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, everything's interesting and frightening. I agree, dude. I'm just hanging in there. I got, like, seriously, dudes, I replaced our GFCI outlet and it has a nightlight on it. It's pretty fucking cool. And I'm waiting on tomorrow, I believe, our main breaker. I ordered this RV has 3 breakers and we got 2, and then one of them disappeared out of the package and the Amazon delivered us an empty package, so we had to reorder it. And that comes in tomorrow, and I'm replacing all the house breakers tomorrow, and then the GFCI is replaced, and we're gonna have fucking all of this electrical stuff is getting fully modernized in this 32-year-old RV. And yeah, we're making a lot of progress. I fixed the roof, I fixed the gas system, I put a new regulator on and got some doodads, and I fixing up the electric, and before winter's over, we're probably going to fix up the plumbing and replace all the lighting in here and stuff. Yeah, but I got to go to the doctor soon and get my burning wiener fixed because I think I have an infection from the criminal bitch I put my wiener in. So I got to go get some more antibiotics. That's where I spent Christmas, in the hospital getting antibiotics for my burning wiener. Anyways, that's what I got, folks. Wish me luck and wish my wiener luck because we need to get my wiener fixed. All right. Yeah, I got a burning wiener from the crazy bitch. So yeah, not gonna make that mistake again. But anyways, as soon as I get my burning wiener fixed and I got medically cleared for not having anything contagious, there's a lot of cougars in this town, and I'm gonna go fucking beat up some cougar box. But I got to get fixed up medically first because I'm not an evil scumbag and I don't spread diseases, unlike some alcoholic tweakers that I accidentally put my wiener in. It wasn't an accident. If I'd known they had a disease and they were an alcoholic tweaker, I wouldn't have put my wiener in them. But I'm stupid. And when I see pussy, I tend to just, put a wiener in there or my face. But usually both. Anyways, that's my life, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll chat with y'all again later. It looks like major shit's going down, World War III and all that good shit. So thanks for hanging out. I'll be back later.